I still remember church consultant and friend Lyle Schaller explaining to me years ago his prediction for multi-site. He believed there'd be a whole lot of churches that would have 2 locations, a few that would have 3, and then a whole lot that would have, 4 or more sites. He turned out to be exactly right. In this chapter, we're going to explain why he was right, as we talk about organizational design, alignment, and 8 critical questions for having 4 or more locations.
It was about 20 years ago, I became the pastor of Faith Church. And I remember when I came, I can honestly say I had dreams of impacting not just a town, not just the town next to it, but I always felt in my soul that the goal was to reach a region for Jesus Christ. And over the course of years, the Lord has done an amazing thing. I mean, there are literally thousands of souls that have been changed in Christ, and we got to the point where we were like busting at the seams. We couldn't hold them all in one location, and we hired a consultant. And he came back and he said, "Oh, you got a problem." He goes, "You're outgrowing this space and you're behind so far. Why don't you consider a multi-site approach?" We're like, "What are you talking about?" And he gave us some references, and one of them was to Community Christian Church, and we're like, "Let's send somebody up there to one of the conferences." And we sent this husband-wife team up there, and they came back and they said, "This stuff is amazing." So we said, "Let's go for it." And we began a process, and 3 years ago we launched our first multi-site. And it was unbelievable, the consultation we got through CCC and the whole idea of the matrix and planned out and strategically looking not just at one location but other locations. And the fascinating part about this whole thing is 3 years later, Faith Church is now 4 sites. We have 2 in the works, some organic, some are planned out. Our denomination is so blown away by this that they came and said, we'd like to see you do 11 of them in the next several years. And we're just blown away. 20 years later, I can look back and go, the dream was not just one church, one town, or the next town, it was a region. And I'm beginning to see that, whereas Valparaiso and Cedar Lake and Sheridan, Illinois, and St. John, and we're looking north into a different cultural and different social economic areas, and the dream is literally becoming a region, and it is just amazing. And I just stand before God and go, "Lord, the dream is happening before my eyes." There's an impact in a region of Christ. To me, it reminds me of a cool story in Mark, the 5th chapter, where Jesus goes across the lake, and he goes to, literally, he changes one guy, this demon-possessed guy, one guy, and the guy goes, "I want to go back with you now, Jesus." Jesus said, "No, you stay here, and you go tell people what I've done." And that area is called the Decapolis, 10 cities. And the Bible tells us later that literally those 10 cities were changed. That's a regional effect. And to me, that's the movement of multiplication, reproducing, not just for a church, not for another city, but for an entire region for Jesus Christ.